I hurried back because I wanted to see if Mr. Niels had a halo after the initial introduction by Senator Booker. I was anxious to see. You look like a perfectly fine, normal human being, and he has given you sanctified, miraculous qualities. I thank you for being here. It is such a refreshing experience here to have candidates for lifetime appointments to the federal judiciary who've actually been in a courtroom. In the last 4 years, that was not always the case. We had many nominees brought before us who may have watched the first part of NCIS on television, but that was as close as it ever came to a courtroom experience. And so I don't have to ask you, sir, in terms of 6,000 cases, was that the number that you were involved in with the municipal court?
Yes, Senator.
What kind of cases?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. The Newark Municipal Court is composed of 11 full-time judges and a staff of 104, and hears approximately 500,000 cases a year. And those range from disorderly persons offenses to landlord-tenant cases to truancy cases and other regulatory code violation cases. Traffic is also a significant portion of that as well. And while I was sitting as chief, I would cover the courts for other judges in their absence. So I had the opportunity to sit on all those different types of cases during my tenure.
That's real courtroom experience. There's no question about that. Mr. Qureshi, you too have had quite a background in the law on the military side and civil criminal side as well. I'm going to follow up with a question which I'm almost embarrassed to ask, but only because I've heard it from other members of this committee from time to time, and it's likely to come up at some point. What do you know about Sharia law?
I don't know anything about that, Chairman. If the question, too, is whether I would apply the laws of the United States in the state of New Jersey, I can tell you in 21 years of practicing law as a federal prosecutor, as a military officer in the United States Army, as a defense attorney and partner at a prestigious law firm in New Jersey, and a United States magistrate judge, I've never even been asked the question. That being said, I know probably less about it than you do, and I don't know anything about it.
Good. Not good, but certainly we're anticipating criticism which has no basis in fact because things we've heard. Your answer is solid. Mr. Rodriguez, gosh, what a journey your family has taken over the years. It's amazing to hear the story. I don't know if I'm repeating something that was raised earlier about your going out and knocking on doors, trying to find a lawyer. Have you told that story here before the committee?
I have not, Senator.
Would you please?
Certainly. I was a senior in high school, living in Macomb, Illinois at the time, and I had an idea that I might want to be a lawyer one day, but I didn't know any lawyers, and I didn't really know what all that involved. So in my rather naive 17-year-old way, I put on my best suit, and I started going from door to door to lawyers' offices in our town of Macomb. And most did not see me. Many people seemed very surprised that this young woman would show up at their doorsteps. And most explained that you had to at least have had 1 year of law school before you could get a job in a lawyer's office. And I found one person, his name was John Bisbee. He was a civil rights lawyer and a criminal defense lawyer. And he said to me, "You want to do what?" And I said, "Well, I thought I should work in a law office to understand what lawyers do." And he hired me. I spent the summer serving subpoenas, helping to create a brief bank, and helping him in the ways that a young person could do in his law office. And that really was the start that I got.
Is he still around?
Unfortunately, he's passed away. I did try to find him.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Great story about you and about him. And I'm glad it happened in Illinois. It makes me feel good about it. It's been a long time since I've been in a federal courtroom as a lawyer, practicing lawyer, and I will tell you that the temperament of the judge had as much to do with my experience in that courtroom as any law or facts that I brought before them. I want to say a word about temperament of a judge before people who come searching for justice. Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, thank you for that question, Senator. I too share the belief that the temperament of the judge is very important. It certainly has shaped my experience in the many courtrooms that I've been in, but even more importantly, it shaped the experience of the people who appear before those judges seeking justice. And fundamentally, that's what all of our jobs are when we enter into a federal courtroom, or any courtroom for that matter. It is critical that the judge listen intently and provide every person who appears before him or her with a fair opportunity to be heard. I believe we heard the nominees for the circuit court talk about the importance of listening and hearing what parties have to present, and them having the experience of being heard. I agree with that wholeheartedly, and that would be my goal, should I be honored with a confirmation for this position.
Thank you. Mr. Cressy, what is your experience?
Thank you, Chairman Durbin. I can tell you, and I don't know if this is a popular answer, but I like lawyers. I was a practicing lawyer for most of my career. Many of my friends, members of the bar, mentors that I've looked up to in my career before serving on the bench, are all folks that appear in our district court in New Jersey. So for me, it's seeing a reflection of myself when somebody walks into the courtroom to appear before me as a magistrate judge. I think they're me. I would hope that I would bring that same thoughtfulness and respect and mutual respect that I brought as a United States magistrate judge. I hope to bring that if I was fortunate to be confirmed as a United States District Judge, Chairman.
And the sanctified Mr. Niels?
Thank you, Senator. I have to say that in my time as practice, I had a very deep understanding and appreciation for judicial temperament, just in terms of being able to get your case heard and get your case processed. My time as Chief Judge, however, with Newark Municipal Court gave me a whole different appreciation of the importance of judicial temperament. For most people, their experience in court is a very intimidating one. And it became very clear to me that, especially from the litigant's perspective, it's very important that they feel that their case is going to be heard. They're going to have the opportunity to tell their story. They're going to understand the proceedings, and they're going to understand the result. And the judge is the one who sets that tone. So I think it's just important to have calm demeanor, open-mindedness, and you show your appreciation for the fact that this is such an important event in most people's lives. But I also think that that temperament has to also be reflected in how you deal with the attorneys, with your court staff, and the public in general.
Thank you. I have no further questions.